Here we are, my beloved, celebrating the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. And we thank God for Martin. We truly do, for his efforts and his accomplishments for the good of all mankind. Was Martin's dream realized? No, it was not. Over 50 years later, Martin's dream is yet to be realized. But let's revisit an old dream. Let's revisit some spiritual, some biblical history. And let me divert just for a second. What we should be decoding and what we should be dissecting is the monad of our bodies and of our soul. Knowledge of self is knowledge of God. Now, let me get back to the biblical story of David and Goliath. David was a young lad, the youngest son of Jesse, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I say David was a young lad. And he was young for a reason, my beloved. His youth alone indicates his innocence, his purity, his level of conscience. He had not lived long enough to be indoctrinated and brainwashed and conditioned, shaped by the laws and the nature and the consciousness of the land. David kept his father's sheep. When a bear came, David handled the bear. And when a lion came, David handled the lion. And so his people was at war against their enemies. And they put forth a champion, one that appeared to the masses of the Israelite army to be insurmountable, to be impossible to defeat. You see, this is the tale that is written in your 1611 King James Bible. I have made you aware of the original. And I have told you who I am, a part of my cartouche. I told you that I was a member of what is known in modern times as the pygmy race of Negroes. We were small in stature. We didn't have the great heights that we have today, though the Nephilim had that height and beyond. They did exist. And this melanin deficient colossus, here I was standing approximately 4 feet tall, give or take a few inches. And it's 96, I calculate, according by the day's mathematics, and where I came to on this melanin deficient colossus. And let me just repeat to you and confirm to you that I brought his melanin deficient ass down. Now, I know this story seems preposterous to you, but I want you to know that God specializes. I know I have some witnesses within the sound of my voice. I said God specializes in those things that seem impossible. Now, I want you to know that when David got wind of this beast, and I have found that we have practiced bestiality rather than spirituality for over 400 years. We have been born in sin and shaped in iniquity. And so much that we have become the beast that we so and should despise and hate. But David heard the words of Goliath and how he blasphemed his God and the children of Israel. David knew that there was but one alternative. David knew that he could not appeal to the SCLC. He knew that he could not appeal to the NAACP. That he could not appeal to the law of the land. I said there was only but one alternative for David. For David had a relationship, amen, with the eternal and invisible God. David was fully persuaded in whom he believed. And he staggered not at the promises or the power of God to the level. I want you to hear me well. So Saul, seeing that David was an eager young man and fearless, gave him his arm. But David knew that it was not by might, nor by power, but it was by the Spirit of the Most High. Do you hear what I'm saying unto you? Therefore, David, having his third eye open, amen, received divine instruction. And he went to a brook, amen, a stream of water. Do you understand what water represents? And he put within his purse, his pouch, 3 small stones. I am the 4th one after the 3. And he said within his heart and within his mind that with these 3 small stones, I will destroy this beast, this blasphemer, this uncircumcised, this defiant one of all righteousness and godliness. David knew that there was no negotiation. David knew that whosoever honoreth not the divine God, Father, and the divine God mother must be destroyed. And so David went out before Goliath, and Goliath scoffed and laughed. No doubt he bent over and chuckled, perhaps fell to his knees in dismay. He was so tough. David reached into his purse, his bag, his pouch, and took one of those small stones, placed it within his sling, and began to hurl it. Amen. Built up the inertia, that is the soul power, within the sling. And he struck Goliath in the center of his head, bringing the melanin deficient Colossus down. Yes, sir. Then he took the very instrument that Goliath had intended to slay him with, and he beheaded him and stood upon his chest while holding his head in triumph. Now here we are, over 400 years of captivity. In the land of the beast, in the land of the defiant one, in the land of the blasphemer of our God. And we think that we're going to continue down the road, and I'm going to call it of modern, that we're going to continue down the road of nonviolence and negotiation with a creature, with a blue-eyed, fork-tongued devil that has lied to us continuously and has given us so-called progress in a piecemeal manner. And we have the audacity to say that we have made progress, that we have come a long way. There is no negotiation, my beloved, with the devil. Now, when are you going to come into the correct mindset? The mindset of Nat Turner, the mindset of Elijah Muhammad, the mindset of Malcolm X, and many, many others. When are you going to get your mind right and execute the correct will of God? I want to know. Now, you say you are a Christian. Now, the Bible declares that greater is he that is in thee than he that is in the world. But what do you say? The Bible declares that one of you will destroy 1,000. Two of you are put 10,000 to flight. 3, 100,000. Now, shall I go on? You need to re-examine your beliefs and how you should deal with your enemy.